it going, folks? It is Sunday. As always, it is time for our tournament final table. It is our 7K guarantee at Texas Card House, Austin. Mike Youngblood here, and I'm joined again by my good friend William Lottie. Lottie, you're here just because you're not on the final table. Are you sad about this? Are you devastated?
Always disappointing to not be playing for the money with these people on the final table, but being in the booth's pretty fun too. But I'm sure I'll get back there one of these days.
All right, so we've got 9 players. First place going to be $2,220. Second, $1,660. Third, $1,110. And fourth, $550 with blinds $2,000. $5,000 with the 5,000 big blind. Annie, do us a good favor. Hit that like button for us as we get off and running here on our first hand here at No Limit. Now we got Albert here in the first hand here with ace-10 offsuit. There's Aaron. Was also on our tournament final table last week that we are going to air tomorrow night after our 5-10 cash game. So 7 p.m. start up until 11. And then at 11, we'll go ahead with the playing of last week's monthly main event, which featured yourself there, William Lottie.
We got Lorenzo in there with the ace-king shoving over Albert's raise. See what Albert does here. Ace-10 offsuit's probably going to be a little bit too late. Lorenzo in for about 13 big blinds or so. And yes, I was on that final table last week. I won't give any spoilers for last week's final table, but it should be a good show for you guys. I'll tell you that much.
That much for sure. You've left it enough wide open here, Lottie, that I am excited to see what actually happens. So we've got the shove here by Lorenzo, known as Nerd Baller Online. Huge following, actually. So a wide variety of content out there, and he's going to get it in here with the best hand, ace king, and see Page head fold to the queen jack. Back over here to Albert that I think is also buying us a little bit of time here on our side of things to make this decision. It's going to be like, what, 50K more here?
Yeah, 50K more.
But also going to represent like a massive portion of his stack. So,
yeah, good fold by Albert there.
Yeah, I think he's above 20. Yeah, we'll see where he is. Yeah, he was around the 20 big blind marks. I think that's a pretty standard open. And
yeah, it's perfectly fine to open. Maybe go a little bit smaller. 3 big blinds plus is probably a bit too much when you're playing 20 bigs deep. But yeah, then of course fold when you get shoved on. And that's the other thing, using a smaller sizing, you lose less when you get shoved on.
It's a fact. You can write that one down here. So, all right, post the top hours, top point getters. I have fallen out of the top 10 here, so kudos to you super fans who are just holding it down here in our top 10. All right, PM checking in. So, Mike had a blast yesterday at TCH Dallas. Yeah, I was getting pretty good updates here from PM along the way, so it's a good sweat. I think he made it down to the last 18 inside the money. So, you did that Dallas tournament final table there on Saturday is always streamed. It's good to hear from people that are like, man, I really want to get there just because it's got the live stream factor to it. So keep swinging there, man. You might make it. All right, all pure with the limp middle position. The call to 5K. Got the professor here in the house, Josh. Page, I think a newbie here to the tournament final table streets in the stream. E-Money here with less than like 3 big blinds here. 4 just to be able to shove.
And in a limit spot, you could just check and see if you flop anything. I don't know that you're going to get a 4 big blind shove through here. He may not want to get it through, though. Like, he is getting reasonable enough odds to stack some chips, and you do desperately need some chips playing at that tip. He'll get called by the ace-10, so some of the best news possible for E-Money, 2 live cards. We'll see if he can find a 7 or 6.
Anything connected with the board, drawing
And
pretty
an
dead.
ace for all pure, and that's going to do it for E-Money, I believe.
Yeah.
Ace is up for all pure. All pure running pure.
A very sanitary win indeed. Thanks to our good friend Christopher Parks there of All Pure. Also on that tournament final table that you'll be able to catch on tomorrow night. So Paige, the chip leader right now here with the Professor right behind here in second, who I think also was on that tournament final table, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't recall. I think he was.
You know, that's how poker works sometimes. It's like you can have like a really nice tournament final table and you can't, or like, wait a second, who was on that again? Oh boy. So there, good friend ATX Poker here in the Hizzle, the usual suspect, Jedi Master Ted. Always some new faces, new subscribers, new viewers, people just like checking us out here for the millionth time or for the first time. So good friend Bob, one of our biggest supporters, especially here in the commentary booth. Undying support has really kind of guided my spirit through, you know, thick and thin, Lottie.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the Professor here with 7-6 of clubs, and the hijack is small raise to like 13 or 12.
13,000. Reasonable size. Paige, I believe she's chip leader, going to flat from the button.
Take a look here at our first, our heads-up pot here. Single raise, call on the button, and let's burn and turn. And
let's see what this flop is. Whatever it is, Professor's betting it. See Professor sporting that TCH card protector. Some brand new merch.
Yeah, I've seen more and more people take a shine to this. So look at this. So
Ace,
Professor
8,
here.
6. Yeah, so Professor bottom pair, Page middle pair, both with some back doors. Professor's back door a little bit better. Page going to just fold the middle pair there.
And, you know, that was only just like a 10K continuation bet. Like, you know, from Page's perspective, that I think if you do call the hand pre, like you maybe can take one straight, but that becomes the difficulty of playing those hands for those that, you know, maybe haven't played like a ton of poker. Like it's, you get in kind of squirrely spots where like, well maybe, but it's like you don't necessarily want to be playing big pots against players that can also take a big chunk of your stack. So you can play the devil and the angel on both sides of the shoulder in that spot. And
yeah, middle pair is probably just a bit too strong to fold flop, particularly when you don't have something like a monotone board or something a little more connected. And as far as, well, never mind that. We've got Aaron with some pocket jacks.
Some Judies, as we call them around these streets. And the people's champion, Albert, back here as... Looks like he just got his way in from a bar fight without a scratch and a point proven. We'll see if he's going to be able to outdraw Aaron as, well, a good flop for Aaron.
Aaron with the over pair. Albert, not much going on, just the over and a back door.
Yeah, nothing really that Albert can look beyond this straight, decides to run or straight, even if by some miracle Aaron would check here, which would, I think, happen 0% of the time. Bet down here to 10,500, as effective as any, connected right to the raise size of 12K, so.
And Albert just gets away from it, which perfectly fine to approach it this way. Get good odds, take a flop, see where you go from there. Bombing the ace-5 suited all-in pre is also viable, though maybe not against an under-the-gun opener who's going to be a bit on the stronger side. Let me try adjusting my microphone. Hopefully Nick from Yuma can hear me a little bit better now.
Yeah, I would have thought volume was not going to be a thing that was going to be a stopping point here to make sure that we get your boy Lottie. Is there a Lottie cam tonight? I think we don't have producer David here to maneuver all of that on the Streamlabs side of things. So I think, yeah, maybe tomorrow night we'll get the camera in full action. So,
well, you know what? Just pull up the stream from, say, like Thursday or Friday if you want to see my face, and just pause it on whenever I've got action.
All right, thank you for subscribing, Christopher Gooden. We got Chat Pro Mackie, Stephen McIntyre out here with us as well. I think a theme that you'll continue to see, and again, small raise sizes, small continuation bets.
Now the professor picks up the jacks, or the jiggities as Brad Owen calls them.
A man
Brad
who will
Andrew
be
coming out
here on August 12th with Andrew Nemi. Should be a pretty awesome show here on a Thursday night.
Should be a great one. I'm sure half of Austin's looking for a seat there. Like, that'll be a heck of a game.
Yeah, Lottie, if you open up your pocketbook, you can bribe your way into this. Don't. I know some people.
Yeah. I will have to keep the bribe in mind.
All right, Eric's stuck here in a tough spot here out of the small blind. Professor, again, opening up front, and this kind of becomes all in or fold spots because he still has the big blind behind him.
Ace-Jack is very rippable here for the bet he's facing. He is going to let it go, though. Now Aaron with the 9-6 suited. Going to just choose to let that go. Professor going to take down some blinds with those jacks.
So you see a lot of the table at 20 big blinds or less, so you get kind of like this bottlenecking that happens where
you got Paige with a ton of chips, Professor with a decent amount of chips, and then a massive logjam at that 10 to 20 range.
And with the 25-minute levels in this tournament, gives you ample time to be able to kind of pick and choose your spots.
Yeah, for sure. One of the nice things about this structure, you do get a decent amount of play even when you get this deep in the tournament. With 8 players left, we're paying, what, 4 players tonight?
Yes, that's what it looks like. As fourth, it's going to be 550, third 1,110, second 1,660, and first 2,200. So
plus those WPT steps 2 seats for the ends of the month going to all 4 of those players. And yeah, so we're actually still pretty far from the money as Paige opens up the ace-10, all pure with the black aces and the big blinds. Did he just flat?
No,
Did he put a chip out, or
he's
is
not
he
made an action yet, so there's going to come in the re-raise.
And this might just end the hand. No, Paige may call here. So all Pierce left himself about, not even quite 2/3 pot behind. I imagine he's just shoving any flop here.
No, you're right there. 87,500.
He's definitely never folding aces. Once he takes this line, he's never folding aces. Flops the overpair. Now he decides to move all in.
Yeah, thankfully for Paige, not a board that she's going to find enticing to even really have to give a moment to be like, oh, well, how much is it? It's just going to become an auto fold. And, well, perfect timing for all pure. Good friend Chris is scooping it up and now going to be above the 20 big blind mark again as we continue 2.5K, 5K with a 5K big blind ante. Make sure to hit that like button, click subscribe. We're continuing to grow and grow and grow beyond all means. There's 28,800 subscribers here on the channel. And little Sunday night tournament action just to round out your weekend. As
usual suspect. Thanks for congratulating me on that win Thursday. Thursday was quite a fun stream to play. Go back and watch that in the archive if you haven't seen that yet. I ended up booking my biggest win ever in a cash game, and it was quite the ride to get there.
I'm gonna have to fast forward and speed up and check some of those hands, or hopefully, we'll have a massive highlight reel. The best of Lottie. So we've got a rip here by Eric in the cutoff, shoving with a7 of diamonds, just 12, 11, 13 big blinds.
Yeah, suited ace. Let's go. He's gonna get that through.
The old John Daly grip it and rip it, and actually with the 3K, 6K. A nice little blind steal for him. But you can get one of those around. It just kind of keeps you afloat and gives.
Yeah, buys you another orbit for sure. Looks like blinds are going up to 3, 6, and 6 now. So the stacks get shorter.
Which I think the one thing we see when it's a little bit shorter payout, that it becomes kind of a tighter bubble, I think, until we get to basically the 4 payouts because once you get to a tournament final table, like all the spots are accounted for. I don't know if that's necessarily strictly across the board, but you generally get more people ready to try to go make a move because they've already guaranteed themselves some dollar freaking bills here, Lottie.
Yeah, and that's not a trivial bubble. I think it was 550. You said 550 plus the step 2 seat, or is it 500?
550 plus the
Five.
WPT steps to monthly main event seat.
Yeah, so that's an $880 bubble there on a 165 buy-in. We've got Paige wimping in with the King 10 suited, AA Ron bumping it up to 20K with the Queen Jack suited from the cutoff. I think Paige is going to defend here, and we will go to a flop. Aaron with a little over pot left in his stack.
Just hoping this board completely
Ace,
whiffs.
King 9, and AA Ron just the gutter. Paige with middle pair. But AA Ron as the raiser should have a lot of this, so he may elect to bet this, and he does.
And he doesn't have to make an overpowering bet here, too. Like, a 10K bet represents probably the same thing as maybe 15, 20, 25, or 30.
And
so
gets her off the middle pair, gets her off the superior holding. Well done.
And that's what I see, the really good tournament players being able to find ways to just be able to salvage some of their stack and not have to risk much and still have that same level of effectiveness. So, I mean, different players require different, methods. So, sometimes you're going to get absolutely called there in that spot, and sometimes you're going to have to maybe size up to try to drive somebody out of a hand. So, good job, AA Ron. Not that he didn't need to be told that. That's people are upset about Streamlabs. We're getting called for Mutiny to take down the machines. Maybe is it like the slot machines that you have a certain frequency of how many people can actually roll a positive when they're gambling their loyalty points? Like, say, maybe we have to have a talk with Streamlabs here to just kind of untighten it a little bit.
You mean?
I keep losing. I keep losing all of them, Lottie. I keep losing all of them every time I gamble.
It's not EV positive enough for you guys. I'd love a slot machine that pays out like Streamlabs.
I mean, just yeah. I mean that.
Up here with some 10s. He's gonna open, and Lorenzo's going to shove with whatever he has. I'm sure Up here is calling off if it folds back to him. Lorenzo with the ace queen. Folds back to Olpior, and I expect him to call off here. Gonna get the count. Looks like 79,500, so about 13 big blinds or so. Don't fold 10s for 13 bigs.
That's Williams' tip of the night. Just the tip here with Lottie. Don't fold. I mean, this is. We see this scenario time and time again here off the tournament final table, and it's you're still in that position with 10s, being like, okay, am I up against jacks? Am I up against ladies? Or am I up against the hands that I think I am? So
a big ace or pocket 9s could easily make this shove as well.
No, if you're steamdola, you could have 8 of spades, 8 of hearts here as well.
And then you're just screwed.
No, then you just realize you're probably fooled. So, all right.
He's got the calling chips cut out. He's giving them a good look. And he does make the call. And we'll see if Olpior can find the hole to knock out Lorenzo. Olpior going to be looking for some small ones on this run out.
We're off the races here, Lottie. 10s versus ace-queen. And boom,
and
queen
we got
right
a queen
in the
right
window.
in the window. And a couple of meaningless spades. The deuce pairs on the turn. Olpior needing a 10. Does not get it. Lorenzo going to double up here through Olpior. Live and die by these flips.
Yeah, that is the skill of tournament poker. And if you really believe that, you've got the right kind of mojo and the timing to get these spots through, then, well, hey, we invite you to play tournaments here at Texas Card House. Again, our monthly main event on the last Sunday of every single month. We will have the replay, condensed replay, at tomorrow night at 11 p.m., of which I will have a brief announcement after the show and then between the tournament thing. So stay tuned for that. Should be at least riveting here to our audience as we continue on here with our tournament final table 7K guarantee here at Texas Card House in Austin, streaming 7 nights a week. And if you're looking to be a part of the cash games here, again, you can email us at tchlivelist@texascardhouse.com or text 512-843-1971. All right, there's your boy Aaron, Jack 7.
Ace queen for the professor. Some chips will go in here. Goes for the 16K sizing.
Paige, even if she really wanted to defend with the kind of hand, Queen 6 is not going to be able to do it. So, all right, Ed Barrage, keep your mojo working. Yeah, I'll keep trying. MD Street Racing, what did loyalty points get you? There are specific, like, crypto, what are they called? They can, you can convert them to, like, Ethereum, potentially maybe even some cake, I believe, as well, is also out on the table. You know, hold on to these loyalty points here, folks. These,
They're like mini babies. They'll be worth something sometime.
exactly, like it is.
But seriously, you'll see raffles during some of our cash game streams, and those loyalty points will buy you raffle tickets.
Amongst other things, and I think going to try to sort out the merchandising thing, so all I'm just saying is give it a chance. Accumulate as many as possible. You can gamble with them. We've had, like, prop bets that you can use that just add a little extra element of interaction here with the audience. This page can open out of the small blind up to here to 18K Albert, 12K more, or
Queen
possibly
10
shoving.
suited. He has 5 big blinds. Again, you can just go in here. Queen 10 suited blind versus blind is lots and lots of hands at that depth. But he's going to fold.
Yeah, that is. The one superstition I have, Lottie, is never shove a short stack into the chip leader. I only believe that online, by the way. Live, I realize that the mojo works differently, but I fiercely believe the online algorithms are like big stack always wins. But I have nothing to prove this. It is basically a benign accusation.
Fun story. One time I was playing one of those tournaments, and it was like a big Sunday tournament during lockdown. And within the first level, I've got like 5 starting stacks because I've just got like absolute donkeys and I'm getting hands. And then I ended up not cashing because I basically went card dead forever and ever and ever. And they just kept chipping away at me, despite being that chip leader. And now we got Paige with the Judies. Albert going to stick his 8s in there. And it's going to get the bad news when Paige calls. And she does. Albert going to need to find an 8 to stay in this tournament.
So a 94K chip tournament pot here as 8
He
gonna
gets
flop.
the 8 of spades. Of course it's the 8 of spades.
Still some hope here for, well, actually, Paige looks like she'd be drawing the 2 jacks or they're all out.
The jacks are spoken for. She doesn't know that, though. And Albert is going to double up. People's champion will stay around.
Lottie, what's your opinion on this? When these situations come up and, like, say you folded Jack 10, are you the person that's like, hey, I folded a Jack? Or do you try to keep that yourself? Or do you like to share that info once it's all the chips are in?
I tend not to volunteer that information.
Well, you know, while we're speaking about information here, folks.
You need to understand that everything you do at the poker table conveys information.
Just a rule of life.
That's right. You can't be all loosey-goosey having a sandwich. That said, I believe Helmuth was doing that in his last high stakes match the other day. He was literally having a sandwich at the table.
Phil was?
I believe so.
Was that the thing that he was doing against Nick Wright?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that, and I listened to a little bit of him, Nick Wright, talk about playing 25-50 cash, and it's like, okay, well,
And he was not completely in over his head. Like, Helmuth was the superior player, I think, and did figure out how to get Nick Wright fairly quickly. But I wouldn't say he was in over his head at all.
right on. As Aaron's not going to defend his big blind, it is going to be folded on over here to Paige. It picked up ace jack, and
Picking up 15,000 chips, partial refunds on that double up she just gave Albert.
the usual suspect for 100 points. Gary say will personally call your phone and criticize you. That's worth every point possible to be able to possibly have that total experience. Oh,
And I agree with Adam in the chat. Standing up always works, except when it doesn't. But, you get your money in. Maybe you're flipping, maybe you're behinds. You stand up if you're the one covered, and then you just get what you need.
As the usual suspect says, they build your self-esteem. Well, let's give a good look at who has the most self-esteem. Top. All right, fold it around here again. As just above 2,000 up top here for this tournament final table.
Hope you're going to get the walk from AA Ron. Not interested in putting money in with that 4-3 offsuit.
So Eugene Green with 93,764 loyalty and self-esteem points. He has ascended to a level higher than us all. And, safe to say, might just be an icon. Okay, Jake Peterson, what's the payouts? Well, that's a fantastic question worth answering. Fourth place, $550. Third, $1,110. Second, $1,660. And first, $2,220. Says decent return off like $165 buy-in.
Yeah, like even a min cash is a significant ROI here between the 550 and then the seat. And look at Albert with the aces. His fortunes have certainly turned around. And we'll see how big he goes with these aces. Looks like 18,000. Eric with the nines, he's going to move all in. Little does he know that he's in some trouble here.
ATX Poker says, Mikey, I'm leaving a present at your apartment for you. I hope it's not another flaming bag again.
And Albert snaps
not
him
another
off.
one of those. All right,
Eric.
Albert here with aces.
Eric needs to find a 9 to stick around.
Expecting some payback, some karma.
Or else he's got to find a whole lot of clubs. And
Now you got a queen and a couple of eights.
Steamdale is always speaking
I
to
got a
us.
10. Eric's got a gutter. He's got a gutter. Jack or a 9. Does not get it. Eric going to be eliminated in 8th place. Good run. Sometimes you just run into it.
Yeah, that is the nature of tournaments. Sometimes hope that you have a 50-50 shot. Maybe you get a little bit lucky here. And, well, it's tough to play that out and not envision the hand's not going to go any other way. So.
And, that's how it goes. Like, whether you're playing small stakes or big stakes, that's how it goes. Just last week up at Choctaw, they had the WPT, and I was following the action. I knew a few people who made it to day 3, and they just run into it, and that's just how it goes.
Yeah, our boy Sage had a...
Yeah, Sage got 18th. Congrats to him.
Yeah, just kind of ran into cooler on jacks, and a guy kind of trapped with aces, and that is
Yeah, that's just how it goes.
how the cookie crumbles, as they might say. Does... Okay.
Page jumping in with some 4s. See if anyone's going to give some action. Lorenzo's going to complete with that queen 3. Professor checking hit with his 6s. He's going to just check it.
All right, here we go.
7-3 deuce. So Lorenzo with the middle pair. Professor and Page both should feel okay enough, but Professor's going to just fold those sixes.
Did not want to be in between. And
Page is going to continue.
I'm a little surprised maybe he didn't call right there in position, but
Yeah, and then maybe Page goes away from the fours. And the seven's going to pair, so Page probably feeling a bit better now about her holding, with the seven being less likely for Lorenzo. Lorenzo checks the Page, who's going to bet the 23,000, and Lorenzo lets it go.
no, that is well done there by Paige. So sense the right spot there to bet. We are down to 7. Our good friend ATX Poker. Speaking of clubs, USA wins gold in individual golf. Yeah, watch that. I mean, this is like the Olympics have totally warped the time schedule as far as like, oh, this is convenient to watch this here live at 3 in the morning. So
It's really not bad.
I didn't really watch much of the tournament up until like it was the 7-man playoff for
Well, this,
the bronze medal. That usually doesn't happen in golf. So I was like, okay, this is fascinating. So,
People say words after, like,
Yeah,
but I mean, it's until we get poker here into the Olympics, which I think is due any year now. I think the IOC is going to have to really strongly think about it.
I think that's something else where bribes come in handy.
so please don't knock me out. But if
I'm
you do,
surprised there's not some venue that's not going to try to do something in regards to countries being represented or something like that. But it's probably until we get done with this Delta variant before we want to start having a worldly view on a poker game as far as like a streaming product or like a Poker Go kind of thing where the Poker Olympics, man.
Page limping in with a mystery hand. I believe AA Run is attempting to kill a fly. I think that's what's going on here.
He
No,
doesn't strike me
over
as the
here.
guy that wants
Not gonna
to
be
hurt a fly, but I think he may be trying to like shoo them away.
with the rest of us, and he would
It
just
seems
get
like a
really
clapping
bad
motion.
spots.
Like, I'm just speculating that it was
okay.
a fly he was going after, or like a gnat, but
Trying to just use some fast hands to be able to take it from the sky. So, Professor here with no hand that we can figure out. Josh here with rags. Page,
Same time, I was
I believe, had limped here up front. And
you think it was more like celiac or something than it was
so we have no idea either player's holding.
like, yeah, legit.
We do know that Professor check called Page's min bet, or near min bet on the flop.
Or it could have been a different diet.
And now the three's going to pair on the turn, and Professor is going to get away from whatever he had.
Nick from Humus has turned the page. I like it. That is the good stuff that we come back here each and every Sunday. So my name is Mike Youngblood, the dude talking. Lottie, super producer Carolyn, and the Hizzle. I think I'm going to have to take Hizzle out of my vocabulary forever. It's twice here tonight, Lottie. I might just be losing my grip. So,
And we can't get too repetitive here.
I don't want to be just saying big slick every time I see Ace King. Like,
Yeah.
you got to be able to have more than one term for something. I think that's
Absolutely.
important. So we've got 3K, 6K, the 6K big blind ante, the BBA, as the cool kids call it. It's a good, hard-hitting discussion here about promoting the like button within. It's always great that you can not only be a chat pro, but a chat master here for the stream. Be the good that you see in the world and hit that like button for us.
Yes, please hit that like button. AA Ron just over min raised with his King Jack offsuit. Page is going to defend with another mystery hand. And now she's going to scan her cards,
Scanning.
and maybe they'll actually scan. She did put them on the dot. 100% she's putting them on the dot.
Sometimes you got to fan them out a little bit. Sometimes
Yeah,
you
make
just
sure
got
you
to,
get both.
wax on, wax off kind of motion.
You want the faces of both cards to be touching the felt ideally.
Lob, the hand is quicker than the fly.
kind of
or
fan them out.
maybe
like
these
just a little
cards
bit,
or
and
this
then go
table is
back and
just
forth right over.
It's
not
just,
in
you
a
know, we're going to
scanning
blame
mood.
this on the cards.
Yeah, we're
Like,
hearing that
that's-
these cards are just not in a scanning mood, unfortunately.
Spoken like true poker players, it's just the cards' fault here on this one. We need a fresh deck, new setup.
At 975
change.
flop, let's think who this
See
favors.
change button here, Lottie.
Well, Paige is betting out. She's just leading out, and this board would favor the big blind defender, A.A. Ron, just letting go of his 2 overs.
Paige having a really good final table here for the most part. So we will continue to circle the waters here. Josh on the 4 big blind mark. Going to have to make a move all pure. Got himself into a coin flip here with Lorenzo. And, well, his 10s bit the dust here to ace queen. So got our good friend Alan Pichatello
Hope you're
back
doing
here in the
great,
chat. I
Alan.
haven't seen him in a while, so maybe he's back here for some TCH Sunday Run Good. Nick
Oh,
Yuma,
he's-
Youngblood is the gatekeeper, and Lottie is the key master.
Thanks for that, and good to see you in the chat, Alan. I'm sure Alan's been busy doing all sorts of interesting things and some play of his own. Gonna get a limped pot, blind versus blind. Page slightly ahead with the king 4. Queen 9-6 not gonna connect with either of these players. Check, check. And now Paige has bottom pair. She will put in the bet, and this will probably end the hand. Just a min bet if and Albert will fold.
Yeah, so another winner here for Paige. Champ Pro Pez became a Champ Pro, then played on the live stream up there in Dallas. Here joining us this evening. So, all right, so I think you guys may have seen this, but new promotion here at Texas Card House, where that if the high hand jackpot hits, everybody in the room gets $100, Lottie. So like,
The
Yeah.
bad beat jackpot, you mean?
yeah, the bad beat.
Not the high hand, the
Oh,
bad beat.
okay, boy, to get some sleep some point. So, yeah, so the bad beat jackpot, if that hits, if you are in the room, that is going to give you $100 here. So looks like some specific kinds of jackpot setting.
So yeah, the minimum qualifier to hit the jackpot goes down every day, and the jackpot goes up every day, and hopefully they find some nice point where a lot of people make a lot of money. Wolf here is going to move all in with the ace jack suited, folding to Albert with the king 9. See if A.A. Ron has anything. He does not. Wolf here going to steal some blinds. So today, August 1st, I believe you'd need to have a queen high straight flush beaten by a royal flush.
Which, you know, I mean, that happens a fair
That's,
amount.
that's like the absolute worst thing you could have happen in Hold'em.
Yeah,
and,
that is. Yeah, if that was a game.
Yeah, that is true. As Super
Yeah,
Producer Carolyn reminding us, that's how the bad beat hit in Dallas a couple months ago.
Yeah.
You can see all the details at TexasCardHouse.com on what the qualifier is on a given day and how much you stand to win on a given day.
You're a natural, Lottie. All right, so we've got the Texas Card House Cruise as well. We invite you to join us out every Tuesday. Members Appreciation, 50% off on your hourly rate all summer long while it is still roasting, firing, flaming. Can't breathe outside during the afternoon here in Austin, Texas. It's going to get cooler here in August, apparently, so.
Yeah, they're saying it's going to be cooler than normal.
I don't know if that means anything. Does that, you know,
Well, I
really,
mean,
like...
Last year it feels like it was 100 every day last year, like June and July. And so far, we haven't quite gotten that hot for the most part. So I'll take it. As long as we're just not sitting in an icebox in February again. I don't want to do that again.
You know, that is something I try to remind myself is I'm just like, you know, remember, again, we were here in February going like, you know what, I could use 100 degrees here at this moment.
Like I could like freeze back home. I don't have to move to Texas to freeze.
Case in point. So hit that like button for us. Click subscribe if you're checking us out here for the first time. 7 nights a week of streaming poker action. Tournaments on the weekends. Cash games Monday through Friday. as we alternate every other Friday between Dallas and Austin. So we'll be back up in D-Town next week. We've got our 5:10 game tomorrow night, and going to have our Dallas game on Tuesday. It's been getting a ton of viewers, and I think like our 2-5-10 that's happening up there on Wednesdays. Also, hey, people really seem to be enjoying that show. Some nights I catch it, some nights I'm, living life.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago I got to play on that Wednesday. These days it's been 5-5-10 and lots of action. And it was a good time. I was glad I was able to get up there. It's worth a watch if you're not watching on Wednesdays.
All right, the Professor son here with a raise up is going to get no action here as he raise directly under the gun. Commentators, says Ray, I bet on JD winning the tourney yesterday. Y'all took my points but didn't pay me. LOL. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I just I needed those points. I was going to pay you back. I was going to pay it back, but something came up, and we're going to have to. Maybe we can work out a deal here.
Blinds are up 4-8 and 8. I think Josh is going to have to shove any two under the gun now, sitting with 3 big blinds. But he does not. He lets go of the 6-3 offsuit, which is one of the worst hands you could ever have. But on the next hand, you're going to put a third of your stack in dead in the form of an ante.
But in all seriousness, I have no idea who won the tournament up there in Dallas last night. So you may have to direct that question towards the specific Dallas stream to reimburse points. Terms and conditions apply. All hail Streamlabs. Okay, just want to make the machine mad here, Lottie. We've got King 9 suited versus Queen Deuce.
And Professor is going to find himself a pair of deuces. Lorenzo with the over and the gut shot. See if he continues against Professor's bet. He will not.
Yeah, that is a kind of draw out of position heads up. That is, you're either probably putting in a check raise or you're just going to go ahead
You need yellows. Give me some yellows.
and show very little resistance. So, all right, I've got 11 loyalty points here. I'm going to get exclamation point gamble 11. Roll the
Good luck.
dice. Dad needs a new pair of shoes here, Lottie. Let's see if we can double up our loyalty point. Rolled 96.
96, there you go.
I think
Get a
that
win.
calls for a celebration, and I will take a big swig of this superhuman energy drink we call C4 Strawberry Watermelon Ice. I know it sounds amazing, but it does give the extra power here to power us through Sunday. All right, let's do this, Lottie. If we do it enough, they will give me a paid advertisement. I will be on their Instagram. We're going to make it happen.
Professor's got an ace. He goes all in against Josh's 2 big blinds. And Josh calls with the 4-3 offsuit, which is actually the correct call in case anybody's wondering.
There we
And
go.
he's going to have to find something here. He's got a 4. He's got a 4.
Looking to hold the short stack. He paired 2
3.
pairs up.
Professor picks up a heart draw. The 7 will lock up the double up for Josh with 4s and 3s.
Staying alive is.
He'll hang around a little longer. 1 double up at a time.
Now we'll move on here to the small blind, 3K, 6K with the 6K big blind ante.
4-8 and 8 actually.
Says just dream and believe, Youngblood. We also, looks like we have an attorney at law here in the chat, the usual suspect, class action lawsuit. If you or someone you know has been screwed by Streamlabs, call the Texas Hammer, 1-800-GARY-C. That is 1-800-GARY-SEE. The Texas Hammer, fighting for your liberties and your freedom and your loyalty points. All synonymous with each other. Okay, TCH Live sponsored by Broth Bombs. That's probably why Aaron's been doing so well in this tournament, that they hit the like number on that Thursday and they're able to...
They hit the like, they hit the broth bomb.
You know, that's like a sacrilegious experience when you're able to you ascend to a higher level here, Lottie. So, that I don't want to give away any secrets, but... All right, we've got to raise up by Professor up to 21K, and... Page here.
Page hasn't pipped, but She is not going to defend, I don't think. No, she does not defend. Professor going to take it down.
Another situation again, like it becomes very uncomfortable to play that hand against a player that,
And out of position.
yeah, so it's,
Like if there's one stack you don't defend against, it's probably his. That said, we are still
Yeah.
pretty far from the money. We're deceptively far from the money. Like, we
like,
still need to lose 3 more players.
like me personally, like I'm probably not folding there, but I'm also sitting there with anticipation of like this could be kind of gross. And if you're not fantastic in those spots, like the safest thing you can do that preserves your chips 100% of the time is you can just press fold. So, and that is just stack preservation. And I think especially in Texas too, where chips can be in play.
Josh is putting all of
Depending
his
on where
chips
you're
in
at.
with the queen 9 suited. He's gonna get it through. Albert with the 7 deuce.
Oh, dude, look at that. Look at that.
Does
So Josh buying himself another 2.5 big blinds, and we've got him and All Pure sitting with about 7 bigs. Aaron with 10.
Serious work down there.
Lorenzo 15. Albert 19. Professor and Paige with more.
Alan Pichatello, can we introduce Brad and Andrew to broth bombs? You know, I think that is an experience sacred to only those closest here to the stream. That though we respect the work that they've done as vloggers and influencers and people of note, you really only earn that right of being able to have a broth bomb by being in the studio for an extended amount of time. So, Lottie, you really, I think you're next to be able to be baptized.
If I were a drinker, sure.
Okay. I also be mindful and respectful of that. Maybe is there like a
I've never been so
virgin?
happy to not be a drinker, though. When I heard that broth bombs are a thing, I'll have to admit that.
All right,
Hey, Ron getting a walk there.
the old respect block. Bob announcer has some hard P's. All right, please put the graphic up for final table payouts. Well, how about I tell them, while you're curious, if you're like, hey, pal, what's the payouts? It's fourth, 550, third, 1,110, second, 1,660, and first, $2,220. So.
Ability of getting any one of those 3, I'll take it. Just give me one of those. Right.
If you know. Elsinore Brewery evening all. Happy belated birthday to being 50 years old and no gray hairs yet. Hope you're able to get back out there on the felt and enjoy your cake day, sir. Ray asking, why isn't Aaron drunk? Probably because he has tolerance. Danny's competing out here on the TCH live streets.
Just now? Oh, man.
There's people out there gambling their points. Dun, 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 dun.
A little worse. It doesn't get any worse now.
So we're kind of slow going here. Everybody's circling the waters, trying to find the right moment to strike here with blinds 4,000, 8,000 with the 8,000 big blind. Andy, the next one will be 5,010.
I think these short stacks might be freezing the action a little bit.
Yeah, you don't
They
really.
don't want to go broke before those short stacks go broke or double. Professor's just letting go of that suited ace. And Paige waking up with some kings. Looks like she's making it 20. See if anyone has anything.
Alan Pichatello here chiming in with a really important point. Aaron went to school in Wisconsin, Madison specifically. Just a little while there is enough to give you the tolerance you need. So, question asked, answer given. So all pure on the short stack as the blinds pass through him. We'll be looking for a moment to shove. Josh about to be the big blind of the next hand. So we'll see if we get any just a little sizzle. You know, a little frying of the pan here. See if we'll have anybody moving some chips in. $4K, $8K, Albert. In the hijack here with the suited king. Appearing very intimidating to everyone at the table. Gonna flex his muscles here as he raises up here to 24. I'm clearly kidding, but
And he hasn't played a hand in a little bit, so he might get a little bit more respect here. King 3 is probably a little bit on the lighter side, and AA Ron waking up with the King Queen gonna shove over that open.
good instincts by Aaron. Probably understands in this specific position.
Professor with a King Queen of his own gonna ditch it now, as Albert could easily have a strong hand.
He's going to see it's going to be a little bit more than he had hoped. I think if it's just like a min raise back, then Albert can call this. But for 62K more, damn, 4K, what was it, 4K, 8K? So he made it like
4-8. Yeah, he made it 3 big blinds, which is, again, a
I guess
pretty
you could
chunky
split.
size.
I mean, you can split hairs on it and be like, well, you should have made it like 20K, then you save the 4K. I don't know. Like, I guess something like, yeah, if anybody makes that argument, I can buy it. But it's sometimes you also play straight and true to yourself too. That image kind of works. But you know, that I think was more of anything just really good instincts by Aaron to recognize that, you know, probably doesn't have a hand here, or else we're flipping. Let's do it.
And King Queen is a very reasonable reshove over and open at the depths that they're playing at. Like when you're as shallow as they are, when you're playing sub 20 big blinds, you don't get a lot of choices, and you do end up pressing that all-in button a fair amount.
All right, Aaron here with King 7 off here on the hijack. Is going to raise, I think Josh is in the big blind for half his chips. No, maybe
Not
a
quite
little bit
half
more.
his chips. He's chipped up a little bit, but it's
Okay,
Professor Aaron's got to worry about here. Professor with the ace jack, and I believe that is a 3-bet from the Professor. Josh going to get out of the way with whatever he had. A. Ron saying, just kidding, I got the King 7,
Yeah.
you win.
Yeah, that's an interesting approach because he realizes he could probably get away from the hand on a shove that.
Yeah,
Or
you're
else
never
he's-
calling. You're never calling with the King 7 unless it's like Josh, who has almost no chips.
So, you know, I guess I'd like attacking that specific stack because it just generally makes your decisions pretty easy. And
And if you think they're going to overfold, which is something that you could reasonably believe.
yeah, especially on the bubble as well. So, top 4 places paying, 7 players to go. Let's keep it going.
Albert wakes up with the hands again. He's got the ace king. See how big he elects to go here. It's like 22, I think. 24K for Albert. All pure with the ace queen, and I believe it's going to just go in here.
It seems really tough. I mean,
Ace queen,
it's
sub
just you
10
can't get
bigs,
away from
you
it.
lose. That's what happens. And that's just how these tournaments go. All pure is all in for 38,500. Everyone else folding. Albert gonna snap call. And all pure gonna see that he is dominated.
But properly cleansed, you know?
Yes.
With the hand sanitizing superpower of all pure, maybe he will try to find a pure flop here. So that's going to come on
King
top
3.
two. Good
He's
GG.
gonna need some back doors.
Oh,
And
there's
he
some
does have a
hope.
gut shot. He needs a jack.
I should have stood up.
Does not
Gonna
get
happen,
it.
Lottie.
Good playing, brother. Good luck.
All pure going to be eliminated. Good game.
GG, as we're down to the final 6. Josh still hanging on for dear life with 40K, but he will have the button. And Albert moving into third in chips. Page, our chip leader here currently. And we'll continue here on TCH Live Sunday. I am reloading the chat here as, you know, some, as always, provocative and interesting discussion being generated. Bob joining the fight for 15, supporting this chat as a full-time job. Forget the points. I want $15 an hour. Well, the closest that we can get to that is making sure that everybody hits that like button. We pump out the good word of TCH. You know, and then we become one with the algorithm that allows us to coexist. And then maybe we can all join that fight. And every chat pro gets $15 an hour for their amazing insight and excellence. But that is a pipe dream someday.
I'll tell you what, at the very least for now, we could give you 6 loyalty points an hour.
You know, I think that's a fair deal, to be honest.
More if you actually participate.
You're not going to get much better than that. The chance to 20x your investment. Okay. We've got Page limping in the small blind. Albert going to raise out of the big blind.
Page is going to defend against that small raise. Another 2 big blinds into a pot that's going to be 7 with her call.
All right, here we go. Nobody pairs up here, Albert. Backdoor diamonds. Checky, 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 checky. Let's see what we get on the turn. Pairs up 7. So
check, check once more. Whoever's going to bring a jack. Albert's king queen is going to be the winner. Check, check one more time. Albert picking up a few chips.
yeah, that is one of those situations. The first one's the blank kind of loses. So it's.
Yeah, first aggressor probably would have taken that one down.
But I think when you go blind versus blind, you see that board. You're just, you know, they're
like, well,
all
they
kind
got
of
it.
suspicious of each other. That sometimes you just wind up seeing streets like that just kind of go, oh well, you know, your turn. You bet. Okay, so, Bob, we have to sit here and listen to all do is mumble jumble. It's worth $15 an hour. You know, I certainly wish that was the incentive that you got for, you know, tuning into this broadcast. Make the world a significantly better place, but I'm afraid the economics don't really add up here, Lottie. It's really tough to buy people.
Only we're that easy.
Unless, what is it the conspiracy theorists always say, that Soros is, but yeah, Soros is supporting all of our chat pros here. That's what's happening. Okay, now up to a less controversial subject here. We appreciate all you guys' comments. It literally sometimes will make my day. As Nick from Yuba Williams. And one mixtape name would definitely be Lottie Dottie. Lottie Dottie with a sweet cross and step back. The professor escalates. Skip to my Lou. People talking about the old N1 mixtape tour. Hot sauce.
Some more blinds on blinds action here. Albert limping in with the queen 9. Aaron gonna see a flop with 8-6 with that 8 of spades.
There we go. Queen 9 versus 8-6. 4-4-3.
Not much for either of these players. Check, check. We get a 7. Now Aaron picks up the gut shot to go with his two live cards. And now Aaron going to put out a bet, it looks like. Just a little min bet, just a little 8K. And Albert's going to say, I got 2 overs. Let's see a river.
This is going to be a J-ball.
Now Jack does bring in some diamonds that neither player has. See if Aaron fires again on the river. He cannot believe that 8 high is actually going to be good. Question is, can we get Albert off of a better holding? And Aaron decides to check. Albert going to take it down with the queen high.
And a solid hand indeed. There's still 6 players left. Lorenzo, 12 big blinds. AA Ron with 11 big blinds. Josh with 5. And Everybody above that sitting pretty comfortably here at this point, just kind of figuring out who is it going to be. They don't want it to be me.
These
So,
last few pots have really solidified Albert as being in that upper tier of chip counts to where he's not so much going to be at risk.
appreciate the comments here, fellas. Squire Rube, do you or have you thought of or would you consider a podcast at all, Mike? At this point, not this. I mean, it is. There are enough podcasts out there that maybe somewhere down the line, if I wanted to do something specific, that would be potentially worth my time. But I'm just trying to do one battle, one avenue, one niche at a time. So that's.
Albert living a blessed life, getting some queens.
Oh, what is
Lorenzo,
this?
Some queens.
So
We're
many
gonna have an all in.
ladies.
We're gonna have an all in, and a call, and probably an uninteresting run out.
We're gonna see. We're gonna have a battle of all the suits.
All right, nothing stupid. Just rainbow flop, please, Daniel.
Good day to you, Racer Nerd. You're about to see a very interesting hand here. We'll see if anybody can break the chop. Oh,
Got
diamonds.
slight free roll for the red queens.
Oh, little sweat
Bigger-
here, Lottie.
bigger
There's a little
free roll.
sweat. And
Oh! Oh, poor Lorenzo. Poor Lorenzo. This is unfair. Oh,
have mercy.
he gets 4 flush. That's the only way this could have gone wrong.
I'm sorry for your eardrums, folks. I did not expect that to happen. Oh, good lord. That is a tough one for Lorenzo. Okay, Nerdballer you see here on YouTube. And there's sometimes no justice in this game. There's no explanation as to why things have to be the way they are.
And we're down to 5 players now. We are on the bubble now. We are on the
Existence
sun
is
bubble.
pain.
I'm going to blame Racer Nerd. He showed up and then this happens.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Hope
he
you're
showed
doing
up
good,
at the
Racer
exact
Nerd.
specific time to be a mush. What should have been a chop became a big win here for Albert. Albert has taken his share of beats here on the stream, has given them out. So, yeah, anything here for the People's Champion, our beloved AA Ron, host of our Thursday show.
I believe Josh moved to all in just now. Blinds now apparently 5, 10, and 10. Josh with the Jack 5 suited and just 4 big blinds. Professor with the dominating King Jack in the big blinds. Closing the action. I think he's going to call here for 3 more big blinds with plenty of chips to spare. This is definitely a call, and he calls. So Josh is going to need to find a 5 or exactly 3 diamonds to avoid bubbling this tournament.
Trying to avoid pain,
There's
but
1
running
diamond,
right
and there's
towards
a
it.
5. He got a 5.
got a
Professor
little-
needs a king now, or running hearts.
There's
Oh, there's
one.
a heart. There's a heart. Professor's got more hope. A heart or a king?
Not going to happen, Lottie.
Not going to happen.
Not
Josh is going to
tonight.
hang around.
Staying alive.
And
Josh
Professor,
is not going to bubble this tournament yet.
I mean, I feel like I say it a lot. I don't feel like he runs totally fantastic in some of these tournament final tables here. And,
Oh, that's the nuts.
thankfully that spot for him. Yeah, only 40K in chips, but
If Professor could just find a hold, he'd have a whole bunch more of these.
yeah, I would agree. I think there would be more of these tournaments that perhaps he would be the victor on. But so we do have 5 of our 6 monthly main event winners. We've got 1 more to go, I believe, before we
One
crown.
more ticket left to punch before step 3.
Then that will be on the final Sunday of this month, which will be the 29th. So if you are looking to play at that at Texas Card House here in Austin, start, prepare and circle it on your calendar. The 29th, the last monthly main event, with the winner moving on to Steps 3, which will be a 6-handed semi-annual event for the right to go on to the WPT Steps Championship. We will be rebroadcasting the tournament final table of that tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Central Time. I will have a brief announcement in between the cash game and the start of the tournament to invite you to stick with us through the duration of that. So, all right, here we go.
Page opens up the king queen, just going to get it through.
Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I know that we
The Bartgasms, this Nick from Yuma. Got people spelling things out here.
yeah.
Always love it. I think there are still people reacting to that Queens versus Queens hand. I'm still, my brain is just a little bit melted over that body.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, that's definitely not the outcome I was expecting.
5-minute level. Thank you.
Every once in a while, this game gets kind of dirty. So 5K, 10K. Jedi Master Ted said my GD internet started buffering right before the last diamond turned over on that hand. Just the one I was so tilted.
Oh, I love how the signal cuts out at the exact wrong time, Ted. Been there many times myself.
Sometimes the universe trying to tell you something. TCH Run Good is real. Doubled up Ace Deuce versus Ace Jack on the bubble. Alan Pichatello. You know, always just getting some of that good vibes from us. And if you feel like sending a little good vibes our direction, you can hit us up here with a super sticker or super chat. Your way of tipping the stream. Any minute now, JTN will come on in. So I'm just, you know, setting my watch to it. Somehow he will emerge with grace and style. So, okay, this is. Oh yeah, there was. You're talking about Formula One there. I don't follow that enough. I know that's kind of up your alley as far as within the motorsports.
Yeah, a lot of wild stuff happens in that F1 race this morning.
I only saw like a headline of it. I had no idea. I mean, I assume it's always wild.
Yeah,
so.
well, sometimes it's wild, sometimes it's less wild. This is one of the wildest ones in a long time. Track was just a little bit wet when they started that race, and one of the Mercedes ended up taking out about half the field on the start to the benefit of his teammate.
Ah, well, we got a
And,
shove here by Josh.
Josh sticking it in with the King Jack. Should get this
bigs.
through. Now we're going to eyeball that stack, but 10-3 is going to be just a little bit too light.
We'll get it through. That
Now
is
we're gonna let it
a
go.
big button steal there in that particular position here. I think five-handed now. We're literally
Five-handed, we are on the bubble.
the bowling ball of the field. People talking F1.
Yeah,
and
talking about that race this morning, yeah, definitely some bowling references got made. A number of memes out of it, and I don't think I've ever seen a standing start with just one car before, but we had that today too. So they had to stop the race after that first crash, and so what happened was they restart just like they start the race. They line up on the grid, except the track dried, and so the leader, Lewis Hamilton, goes out to the grid to start. Everyone else comes to the pits and takes dry tires instead of the rain tires. So Hamilton's out there all by himself, and everyone else is changing tires.
That was your Lottie Sports update of what happened at Formula One.
Oh, we got
racing
action.
today.
We got action.
Let's take it back to the felt here, Lottie. Oh my God, we got a hand.
We got aces. We got jacks that Josh can hold. He'll double up. If Albert can find a jack, Josh will be eliminated on the bubble. And the set of aces right away. Albert down to runners, not going to get him, so Josh will double up here.
Wow, that escalated quickly here as Josh was pretty much in a dumpster here at one point. Has now found himself with two doubles and then some. He got it up with Jack 5 against King Jack because you just had to. You got four big blinds.
Yeah.
You had to push any two.
And we've seen this dance before on TCH Live, where
Especially you, Lottie.
somebody will be on dust, and then you double and you double and you double, and you're right back in the game.
Yeah, literally one of those that we did before that we had a highlight reel on that was massive chip leader, heads up.
It was insane. It was like a 19-1 comeback. It was one of the wildest things I've ever seen.
All right, so 5 players. Your boy Aaron here in the mix has really, made very few mistakes so that I don't have to play the soundbite. And I think it would be kind of rude, to be honest, but I think he might laugh. So we'll just see if we can find something minute to trigger that. Okay, Jay saying I'm rooting for Josh now. People here turn the page.
Looks like Page is going to open. Ace Queen. Very reasonable holding. Ron with pocket deuces. See if he takes his stand here, and he does. Professor's got Ace King.
Well,
How does he play this on the stone bubble?
Rip.
Because this is actually an interesting choice here because like if he gets it in and Paige gets it in and she scoops, Professor's out of the tournament in fourth. Whereas,
yeah, or else
yeah.
whatever the side
Yeah,
pot
like-
would be over this, like
Yeah,
it's
he may decide to just flat. It looks like he just flats. Yes, he just flats. Would be curious to see what he would have done if he got shoved on. Like he might have just gotten away from it at that point, being on the bubble. Like, so the thing is, like, I got a little tongue-tied there. Like, there's a
How do we
scenario
all?
where, like, let's say Paige wins the side pot, Aaron wins the main pot, Professor bubbles.
Lottie, I
that's the
love your
danger there.
enthusiasm for Ace King, Aaron. I had it once when I was a young man, and then
And Paige is going to call. We're
all
going
I
to see
feel is pain. Okay, Ace
see
King,
a
Ace
flop.
Queen, deuces.
a dry side pot here.
Oh,
Do have the queen for Paige. Paige is going to bet into that dry side pot. Professor is going to say, you really did this here. Which she does want value for that top pair, which is very reasonable. Professor going to fold. And Aaron's going to see that he needs to find himself a deuce if he wants to hang around.
Come on.
A
Maybe can we
five,
find a
not gonna do
deuce?
it. Does he have a deuce?
Can we
on
find
the
a
river?
deuce? We
No.
were not able to find a
Three
deuce,
queens.
Lottie.
3 queens for Paige, and Aaron is going to bubble.
You done messed up.
Oh, okay. I kind of cut myself off. All right, good game, Aaron. That's a tough
Good
way to
game.
have to go out. Is get in against the big cards and not able to dodge it, and it's going to be knocked out in 5th place. But
Sure, we'll see Aaron back here soon, and
you'll probably see him
Get
tomorrow
deeper.
night, specifically on our live stream.
yes,
of
he is on that final table tomorrow. Yes, and no spoilers from us. It is a good final table. I'll say that.
No, I
worth
should see if
watching.
he wants to join in the booth, and we can discuss that, and he could break himself down. And
Absolutely. And if
yeah, no, that way, if the chat pros come at it, he can go firsthand and be like, "Yo, bro." That's how Aaron talks. He's like, "Yo, bro." All kidding aside,
Josh
is
getting a walk.
the old Jack 5 suited, no less. But good game, Aaron.
You know what? If I'm awake, you'll probably see me in the chat, chatting about my own play.
I greatly look forward to that. So, people still gambling their points. Ethan, horrible play by Hoodie. He's really going to stick to that Hoodie label. Like, I feel like I don't see Dr. Hoodie wearing all that many hoodies, but that's...
I think putting the deuces in was reasonable. 6 big blinds, you're running out of choices.
Yep.
You're running out of time,
100%.
especially 5-handed. Every orbit's going to cost you 25K playing 5, 10, and 10. And it's true, you're not going to have any fold equity over Pages open, but you just have to go with it at some point. Professor's going to open his button. Jack 9 suited. Josh is going to just flat with the Judies.
JJ Reddicks, the JJ Bareas, the Fish Hooks.
JJ Watts.
That great one.
We got football season starting up. I think the first preseason game is this Thursday.
Yes! That's what I'm talking about. Here Lottie is.
Now Josh is going to be leading on this board where he's got an overpair, the 8-3 deuce. And Professor's got basically nothing, so he's just going to get away from it. Josh is going to say, look what I had.
Flipping on over, just, well, I think probably the Professor appreciates that.
he's
It's like,
thinking,
okay,
I
well,
had one
now
of
I
those.
know you maybe have some element of being able to trap me here, but he's starting to get a low himself after those couple of hands, down to 133K. Paige, Albert, pretty comfortable positions, and Josh cruising on up here as all of our players are now in the money, also qualifying for the monthly main event at the end of the month. Again, first place $2,220, second 1,660, third 1,110, and fourth $550 for the next elimination. So
Professor opening his ace. That graphic says under the gun, but he's the cutoff. We're playing four-handed, remember.
gonna pick up the chips. USA's playing Mexico in the CONCACAF
Yeah, the
Golden
Gold Cup
Cup.
final.
0-0 right now, Lottie. So a lot of action going on out there on the pitch as we continue 5K, 10K with the 10K big blind, Eddie. Four-handed action of our WPT Step Series. Done it mostly every Sunday, so we will have the monthly main event from last month on tomorrow night after the airing of our cash game live on Monday night here in Austin. The Usual Suspect, she is my favorite page in this chapter.
Blind versus blind. Albert with the queen 7 suited. That may have been a raise he put out. Yes, Albert going to make it 25,000. Professor with the king jack offsuit. Too much to fold here. It's this a call? Yes, this is a call. I was wondering whether it was a call or a shove for him. Gonna go to the flop, see what happens here.
Yeah, that's gonna miss both.
983. Not much for either. 4 doesn't change anything. Check, check again. I think. Yeah, check, check. And whatever the river was, looks like Professor's king high was good.
Then he had maybe potentially a 9, so there was
river
going to be
paired
really
to
no
9,
betting.
so-
All right, here currently at Texas Card House, we got a 3-1-2 no limit bomb pots happening along with our tournament final table. Again, Tuesday we have member appreciation all summer long, so 50% off your cash game time here at TCH. So we hope to see you. There's also a $90 Step 1 tournament, a 1K guarantee re-entry, so that it's also, if you want to play that, we get the tournament going, you can also earn your way to Step 2, a monthly main event, a 20K guarantee single re-entry tournament.
Just think you could turn $90 into a $330 tournament seat for Step 2, which you could turn into a $2,500 seat in Step 3, which you could turn into $12,000 on the cruise. And I don't even know what you can win on the cruise, but I'm sure it's a lot.
Yeah, and this is not the TCH cruise, by the way. This is
This is a
different from the
WPT
this is
cruise.
a World Poker Tour, the Texas Card House cruise. If you check out our website, texascardhouse.com, you're looking at rates, like what's going to all be there on the trip, the tournaments that are happening, and yeah, there's going to be more details released. But if you want to secure a seat while it's hot and find more information, go to good old-fashioned website, texascardhouse.com. All right, Lottie, super producer Carolyn here in the house. I'm Mike. I'm let the dude talking in the seat as usual. Appreciate you guys tagging along here with us as we just kind of aimlessly here throughout the evening. Pez top hour should get free hours at the club. You know, you can kind of juke the numbers on that. Are those pure numbers? I mean, Bob's the leader for crying out loud. Nick from Yuma second, Jedi Master Ted 69 total hours. Nice. Squire Rube for 59. Fifth is Usual Suspect. Sixth, Pickle Poker. Seventh, Pez. Metal Doctor 8, JTN 9, and Eugene Green.
I believe that. I believe that. If you told me that was the top 10, I believe that.
Yeah, that is like one thing. Like my girlfriend, when we were talking about this, like I noticed there's like the same people in these chats all the time, and like you've picked up there pretty quick. Learned pretty fast there. It's kind of dangerous.
I'd be on that list if I wasn't out there on that table making the content for you guys.
That's a fact, Lottie. That's why I always appreciate you seeing there, speaking wise, speaking up for all chat pros. All right, the professor here, I'm going to raise up here to 25K.
Ace 10. Albert's got the ace king, though. See how Albert decides to play this. He does go all in. I think Professor's going to just elect to let this go. Ace 10 offsuit a little bit light. As he does, so more chips for Albert.
Yeah, it has been a roller coaster ride on the Albert coaster here. He's been up, down, all around, upside down,
Albert
off to
and
the
Josh,
side.
Albert and Josh were both in the danger zone for a long time this evening, and look at them now, second and third, playing four-handed. Anything can happen.
All right. John Berryman, are you on Poker Atlas? We are in Dallas. Like, if you're looking for some of the other locations, we have that information tracked through our website so that we can tell you, okay, how many are on our waiting list, what games are spread between Houston, Austin, and Rio Grande Valley and Edinburgh. Well, like, Lottie, we haven't done a good old-fashioned poll in a while, so let's do this. Okay, press 1 for Professor.
We got some action here. We got Josh limping in with the ace-8, Paige raising with her pocket nines. Professor getting out of the way with his inferior ace. Josh going to go to a flop here.
All right, so press 1 for the Professor, 2 for Josh, 3 for Paige, 4 for Albert. This will not be for any loyalty points, though. I've not been able to jumpstart the machine to be able to properly reflect these choices, but we're playing for pride here, which is as important as loyalty points here, Lottie. So what do we got in this flop?
Like
King 7-4.
Josh is going to lead out here. He's saying, I don't think you got enough of that flop. And Paige is going to fold those nines. So Josh going to get that flop through.
A lot of different votes across the board here, Lottie. This is going to take forever to count. A lot of threes. So 1 for Professor, 2 for Josh, 3 for Paige, 4 for Albert.
One person seems to be trying to stuff the box for Paige.
For good reason, too. So
She does have the most chips.
we don't require voter ID here, Lottie. Just require a good sign-on and at least relatively decent behavior to be a part of our Chat Pro Nation, TCH Live, all around the globe.
Vote early, vote often.
24/7. Almost as strong as Entertainment 720. You're probably not a Parks and Rec fan, so that just...
I watched Parks and Rec when
Yes!
it was on.
Cat P voting for. Glad.
Professor just folding the fours there, not going to try and set mine. Perhaps thinking he doesn't have quite enough chips to do that. We don't know what either of these players are holding right now. Paige with the king queen. See if we can get a scan from Josh or not. Ace 9-7 should favor Paige's range. And she does bet and take it down.
Love you guys. This is very funny, too. I don't know if we need official Chat Pro gear. I feel like when you enter that paradox, like, you should be able to express it and wear your joy around for the world to see. So Chat Pro merch might be the second wave. But I'll put that in the ideas box. So, all right, again, this is our tournament final table. We do this each and every Sunday. Mike Yumbo, William Lottie, super producer Carolyn. Out here, rocking the controls. Four-handed action is pretty steady tournament here tonight. But we are about, an hour and a half in, so.
It's been that long already. Time flies.
Does it not? Okay, this.
Some more blind versus blind action. Josh opening the 25K with another mystery hand. Paige defending with the queen jack. Ace 4-3 on the flop. Josh going to continue here. And Page is going to let go of that queen high. And to answer a question from the chat, I don't think it's the table that's broken. I think it's a card that's being problematic. One or more cards. And both cards have to scan with our system in order for the hand to pop up on the graphics.
Right.
You won't see just one card from a player. And so if one card's bad, you get a mystery hand, unfortunately.
You know, and like we say, like pure to form, we blame it on the cards, not on the users.
Nor the
And this
person
isn't the case where
distributing
that's
the
actually
cards.
true. Like, that's actually true. But the table itself is pretty sturdy. It has been quite a workhorse here throughout this span of TCH Live. It has been spilled on. It has been breathed on. It has lived through conversations and legends of galore that have been able to step out here on this felt. So it's
Seen a lot of action.
it's not
this last year
broken,
and
but
a half.
it's not too worn out either.
Let's start with the suited ace. Looks like Paige is reaching for some calling chips.
Ethan the billionaire doesn't wear a billionaire trucker hat. Chat pros don't wear chat pro gear. Well, I beg to differ, sir.
Now we're coming along too. We got some three-way action here. Paige with the ace queen electing to just flat. That is definitely a re-raise candidate.
Thanks for keeping us on point here, Lottie. There's hope. We got an ace
Ace,
flop.
jack, four. We got something for everyone here. Paige and Professor with top pair. Albert with middle pair. Paige going to check it over, concealing the strength of her hands. Professor's going to likely just bet out this top pair. And he's going to make it 50,000. And now Paige is going to shove over that, which relative to the Professor's remaining stack, it's not that big of a shove. Professor is going to be hard-pressed to let this go.
I mean, is it though? Is his only thought here is that he could potentially be up against the flush draw? Like, is that
Yeah, he
probably the
does-
best case scenario? And like, would Page choose to
Yeah, he's
to
hoping
opt
it's
for that route?
He's hoping it's a diamond draw, or it's like some kind of king queen or queen 10 gut shot.
I'm trying to think of if you have any chop outs. So like, I guess if it goes just like a running jack
Like
four
jack king.
ace.
Like a jack king run out would counterfeit the queen kicker. Professor is going
He's
to
going to
let
lay
it
it
go.
down. It's
He's thinking this smells weird.
well, it's not. So I mean, it's just like if he's played for Page long enough, she's not made a big, massive overbet shove
Yeah,
in this spot. So like, I think it's probably easier to suspect that there's
haven't
many
seen-
more aces that could be doing this, and very
Definitely.
fewer hands that could be.
We have not seen a lot of bluffs from Page tonight.
It hasn't really had to. I mean, that is one of the things here too that that's a pretty good c-betting in position. You know, there's not been a spot for her to identify and go, you know what, just rip it. I'm going to overpower. So it's
And when they always show up with it, you give them credit. And I think that's what happened here.
Chat Pro Poker says correct. Okay, as I mentioned here, people are like, you don't declare yourself a Chat Pro, and you're really only by the Council of Elders can you be declared certified Chat Pro, a secret society where we actually declare the hierarchy of Chat Pros. And if you've not been attended to a meeting, it means you're not
Ooh,
you're
what's
not cool
happening
enough
here?
to sit with us. Okay, Professor here thinking about
Albert
getting
limps in. He's going to get frisky. He's going to shove the 7 deuce.
show it. I mean,
He's
not
gonna
yet,
shove it.
obviously, but
He's thinking he can get Albert off of whatever he's coming along with. Albert with the king 8 and the dominating diamonds. He has the superior hands. Can Albert find the call button for what would be over a third of his stack here?
so does he have the stones to call with just king high here?
It's not a call you like. It's probably like on paper the right call, but depending on your opponent, it could be the wrong call. He calls.
Cool.
Albert says, let's go.
Super great hand, but
He is going to have 2 live cards a lot. In fact, he has 2 overs this time. And
diamonds.
Professor's diamonds are covered.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate. It was like, I think it would be like, why can't you have like king 8 of clubs here instead of diamonds? So Albert way ahead, but we'll see. Does the board run up? Not looking too optimistic. That's
He's got the
it.
king. That's going to be it for the Professor.
GG. Tap the table. That is our third place finisher.
Fourth
The
place
Professor.
finisher.
Fourth. Yeah. God, I'm losing it, Lottie. We're down here to 3. We've got Paige, we've got Albert, and we've got Josh. Paige, the big chip leader right now. But all it takes is one hand for maybe Josh and Albert to get in and maybe doubles up one or the other, then we're even. Or else maybe Paige can continue to pull ahead of the field here. Yeah, I mean, there's been some decisions you could like nitpick and like, oh, you could have done this, but you know what? Everything has gone pretty smooth sailing here for the most part as a chip leader, and still holding a lot of those chips that she came there to the final 9 with. So that Annie will slide on in.
Blinds are going to be up 6, 12, and 12.
A comedy of errors.
Looks like we've got Ryan pushing into the box here. And we'll get these blinds in Annie's right. It's going to be a dead small this hands. Professor had been in seat 1.
Rest in peace. GG. Professor, though, up with $550 and has got his entry already covered into the monthly main event for step 2.
Stepping up to step 2.
Step by step, day by day.
As do Josh, Page, and Albert. And Page is going to open the king queen, get it through, take down the big blinds in the ante.
So yeah, it's about Albert and Josh. Going to be about 20 big blinds. The next level jump will be 8K, 16K.
16 in about 25 minutes or so. Yeah, so you've got Paige, and then you've got Josh and Albert both on that 20 big blind stack.
So third place is going to be $1,110. Second, $1,660. First, $2,220. So next player to get knocked out, still picking up, gets pretty nice payday, but it's really anybody's game here at this point at these stacked ups, at these blinds. And whoever your pick to click was, they're still in, like you're sitting pretty.
Albert opens queen jack, gets it through.
Ethan says, my daddy was a Monday morning quarterback. Nick from Yuma represented the TGIF lineup, Full House, Step by Step, Family Matters, Dinosaurs. It's kind of eerie that you can tell somebody's age if they're kind of around that point in time where they were seeing the same stuff, but obviously that changed. But
they're naming a bunch of 90s TV shows. Yeah, you can put a good finger on it.
Yeah, good barometer as to like how your range of shows that we all inhabited. And now everything is so decentralized, it's streamed, it's uploaded to the interweb and all these other different content spaces. So we know there's a lot of stuff out there. We appreciate you joining us here for TCH Live as ace high flop between Paige and Albert. Whoever bets wins. It's going to be Paige slapping down a bet of like 15 or 20K. It looks like 20K.
20K. And we're going to let that go.
Nick from Yuma saying the fourth show always changed up. Yeah, that is, boy, I'm getting massive deja vu of hands that, or that time period. Okay, people have been gambling a lot of their TCH Live loyalty points. I do not have the link to the merch store, but I think we'll probably have that when producer David here in the house tomorrow. Cannot get on my Wi-Fi to post the copied link, so that is a failure on my part. Youngblood, y'all need to do a parent swap, and do you guys come to Dallas, and we send our Dallas guys down there. I don't think that's how Pez talks, but yeah, we've talked a little bit about cross-pollination between streams. But
we got some action here.
Yes, we do, Lottie.
Suited ace, and now Albert waking up with the kings. Another premium for the People's Champ. Folds back to Paige, see if she wants to take a flop in position with the ace-5 suited.
All right, there's limp call. I don't mind it here in this spot. Exercise some pot control, play the hand in position, and don't get raised off. And think it's perfectly fine to raise here too on the button as well, but there's going to be a
And Page gets a wheel draw here. 6-3 deuce. We're going to see Albert continue here.
Alberto,
Over pair of plus backdoor hearts.
the people's champion here with a bet down to probably equal of what he raised to pre, just above that, 55K.
Little under half pot. Page is thinking, and Page is folding. Not quite enough of that flop to continue. Albert's showing the kings. I bet if there's a club on that board, she continues.
There would be a better chance of it, yeah, than besides that one where
Have a little bit more than just a gut shot.
as we continue as I browse the chat here on my own telephone here and try to keep up with everybody sharing. Barth random fact, my brother-in-law was one of the puppeteers on Dinosaurs. Sounds awesome. It's kind of one of those jobs that you can go down a wormhole as to how you arrive into that in some places in show business. And you also get to be that person forever. That's kind of neat. Okay, this full three-handed nitrous here going to be called by Josh. Page with a moment of
checking, Page
certainty is
scanning.
going to check.
Ace 5-5. Josh going to say that he had some of this, and Page is going to fold.
That's all right. So Albert climbing a little bit. Probably up another 100K in tournament chips.
Yeah,
Probably in the
but,
last like 10, 15 minutes or so.
that pocket king's hands,
Yep.
where he was able to get a pre-flop raise out of Page.
That has aided his cause. All right, 391 of you tuning into our Sunday tournament final table. Three-handed action. And again, $1,110 for third, second $1,660, and first $2,220 dollar bills. That's Josh going to raise.
He's
Not
got
quite the
eights.
steamdola. That's like the third.
I'm not sure the exact pecking order, but
It's
the 8 of spades
pecking
is there.
order is.
That's the most important thing, 8 of spades.
Yeah, if it's included in the 8 of spades, it's not quite the first team all-stars of the pocket eights, but I think it's like on the second team. All right.
Almost 400 of you guys out there, about 100 likes. I think we could find some more likes.
Do you think so?
I think we've had
I don't
some
want to
good
be out
action
here
tonight.
just being like the stream, guys, like it, please do. Like,
Tell
I
you
want
what,
to try to be a little bit
Tell you what, guys, you
more
hit that
discreet.
button. That's how you tell the world that this is worth watching. And then YouTube says, hey, I should tell other people about this.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how the algorithm speaks. It speaks through us all. It speaks through your united cause to hit that like button and click subscribe, ring the bell. And we'll carry on here into the ninth as a lot of raise folds. I imagine we'll see there's plenty of button races between each of these players, and there's going to be some
Definitely.
moments where it's just, okay, I've got absolute trash. I've got to fold. Hey, Carlo, the chat is here. The chat is here. What's going on, bro?
Hey,
Bro. All right, Racer Nerd, if you're watching, you're liking. And again, if we get the upper hand here and cooperate with the machines, maybe they will cooperate with us.
Pocket tens for Albert now. Big opens, 46,000. Page with the ace jack, gonna take the flop here. Some action. We got a flip. It's in slow motion, but it's a flip. King 6. So Albert's still ahead with the tens. Gonna check it back, I think, for some pot control here. That looks like check. I don't see a turn.
I assure you it's there, though, Lottie. But it's going to be there. It'll load.
See how we're putting out a bet? I think we might still be on the flop here.
Maybe we're going to find out what card is it that specifically.
Okay, that is an 8 of diamonds on the turn.
Oh, wow.
So, Page with the nut diamonds that are not going to get there. Albert's 10's good if they get to showdown. And check on the river.
He's probably expecting to be seeing a better hand after that run on, after it goes c-bet call. So almost an opportunity there for Page to catch up with the backdoor diamonds, still in the overs, and it winds up being a brick city night. About 9:13 Central Time. Again, we start our cash games here Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. A little bit later start time, so you get a little bit of time more to enjoy it through the evening. So I think most of our audience is like that. Carlos up early, Travis football about to begin. Yeah, everything's about to begin, and it's about to become madness in a month or two. And hopefully we're not having a repeat of last year of having to worry about the old COVID-19. So I'm just hoping for that. Like it's a weird time, but
Hopefully
just
my
hoping everybody makes it through one piece. And
hopefully my Broncos don't have to play without a quarterback again. That was pretty brutal viewing last year.
all right, checky here to the end. Jack high going to be
Checks
good.
down.
It's not.
Albert might fire here. And he gets
Yeah.
it through with the 6 high. Well
Yeah.
done, Albert.
I mean, even the most hero of hero calls can't defend with Jack. I mean, that happened. But speaking of,
That would be white.
Minnesota here last night had to find an emergency quarterback because 3 of the quarterbacks got put into the COVID protocol, who are notably anti or not outspokenly for the vaccine. So they were.
As Kirk Cousins said, if I die,
I
die.
Yeah, that was a little like.
Like that! You like that!
There, I got a soundbite for everything, Lottie. So, yeah, thankfully that happened now and not in the middle of the season. But that was certainly something. We've got no hand here as.
Yep. Just another walk.
Thank you for subscribing, Alan Choi. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Thanks for being here.
Hard Rut Knox about to start up, says Pez. All right, blinds as
So 6,
asked.
12, 12.
Okay, 6-12.
Yep, 6, 12, and 12. Just looking at the chips out there. Never wins pot. Queen 6 deuce. Josh doesn't have any of this. Page checking it back with a mystery hand. Now Josh with the top pair. Gotta check it over to Paige. See if she fires at it. She's reaching for
Josh?
some chips.
Yes, presumably seems like he has the better hand here, but
Top pair likely good here. He's certainly not folding it. Josh is gonna call.
could be
And
slightly better draws. Could be.
Jack
Well-
on the river brings in the spades as well. Brings in the front door spades. And now he's gonna fire at it, and Paige gonna fold.
Yeah, I would be curious if it was clubs or maybe Jack 10 or Ace Jack can totally be in there. It could just been a hand that she totally blanked on, was trying to fire too. So
Yeah, that may have been a bluff.
the
Kind of an interesting choice to leave that river. Your other option there would be to check it and let her fire again.
Yep.
And then call her bet if you think she's going to be bluffing. When
So
you
the-
fire out there, makes it hard for her to call.
say WPT Steps 1 again. This tournament is a standard tournament, just like we would run any Sunday, with just a little extra caveat, a little extra little prize, and the prize pool is with cashing in this, you get a seat into the monthly main event, which is Step 2. And that is happening on the very last Sunday of the month. Now, if you win Step 2, you are one of the 5 to notch a W here in this. You'll go to the semi-annual event with the winner of that, then going to enter into the WPT Steps Championship, which is Step 4, played on a cruise in October. So if you're banking on playing, you're also banking on having the opportunity to do that. So
think we could have some fun here. We got Albert with the Jack-8 suited in the small blinds. Josh with the pocket sevens. Looks like he's reaching for raising chips. If it's a reasonable size, Jack-8 suited, very defensible.
Nick
Josh
from
is
Yuma
gonna make it
pointing out Albert
36.
has some serious bikers hand tan going on. It's kind of that is actually a great point.
Probably because he probably did come here on a motorcycle today.
Here we go.
Don't have the flop on the graphics yet. Albert's checked it over.
All right, so
Ace 8-5. Albert with the middle pair out flopping Josh. Josh reaching for some chips. He may try and say, this is my flop. See if Albert continues with his pair.
bless you. All right, we got a queen here on the turn.
Another overcard. He's not going to feel great about that.
Yeah, that's what kind of happened to me during the summertime when I was a kid. Then I played golf all the time. And
Josh is going to bomb it.
Oh,
Josh
wow.
is all
Look at
in
this. I was
here.
not expecting this.
And Josh will be drawing nearly dead if Albert presses the call button here. Can Albert find the call with third pair? Poor. He does not. He folds.
They fold.
Josh bluffs Albert off the superior holding.
Yeah, I mean, with that board run out, that is well timed there by Josh. And I don't know if you could reasonably expect. I mean,
That would be a big call. I'm curious if he does that on, say, a deuce of clubs turn.
yeah, Yeah, I wonder if there's any undercard there that rolls off there on the turn if that changes Albert's decision making, because
Bluffing with your tournament life is always a little bit scary,
just, it's what puts a little hair on your chest,
especially in
a
the
little
money
pride
year.
in your spirit, Right. Yeah, that was the soundbite machine, Nick from Yuma.
Yes, that was
That,
definitely the sound
Lottie,
bite.
that was the most fun I had, was trying to clip the part of TCH Live when they were on and then filter it enough so that I got enough of the Lottie as a minute so that
Yeah.
people can recognize it and appreciate it and love it. And
Well,
I think
you
for the
did
most
well.
part, our chat pros have enjoyed the experience. Okay.
Page gonna limp in. Albert checking. Queen 4-4, a full house for Paige. See how she likes to play this. She's gonna check it over. Hope Albert fires at this. 8 of diamonds on the turn. Please have a flush is what she's thinking. Checks again. At the river, now she's gonna have to fire. And Albert does pick up a pair on this river. So I could see him paying her here. She's going to go about 2/3 pot. A little less than that. And Albert's going to pay off. And he's going to see that he was pretty dead on that flop. That look on his face like, yep,
Yep.
you got
okay.
it.
That's what you
Good
got.
hands. Good hands.
That's good. Nice hand. And I mean, that's when you legitimately mean it, not in the passive aggressive, nice hand. Yeah, good hand, bro. Do you get that when you're out there on the tour, people giving you the old, nice hand, bro? Or are people just generally afraid of you? I mean, that's what I usually perceive, that they're just like, this guy's a shark. He's William Lottie. He's always on TCH Live.
I don't
I'm
think they're that
screwed.
scared of me.
Okay.
You-
I'm not saying I am or anyone is, but, like, you've got a ferocity that, you've got to underrate. Thanks, ATX Poker. I saw the message here, trying to be the ringleader here of the circus that we call TCH Live Sunday Edition. As
You do see a wide variety of reactions to showdowns, even to hand actions. Like I had a guy in Vegas a couple months ago tell me that I'm the worst player ever. I'm such a horrible player.
oh really?
After I had shoved all in with one pair for a lot of big blinds, and I was correct.
Uh-huh.
Like it was a deal where
Oh, yeah.
like I 3-bet king queen, and he flats, and then like I bomb flop, I bomb turn. Like I've actually still missed, and then I river my queen, and then I shove, and he's like, "You have ace king, you have nothing,"
You have nothing.
and he calls me with like 6-4 for like bottom pair bad kicker that he called a 3-bet with, and he kept calling down with, even though I kept saying I had it. But I'm the one with the chips, so am I really the worst player? I don't think
You
so.
know, like, when you went through that line, Lottie, it didn't seem like you were the worst player on that hand. Like, I'm not a poker scientist by any stretch of imagination, but based on what you just told me, I think that guy might have been a quack. But
Yeah,
might have just been
I tend to
angry.
think
He's
so.
been in Vegas for too long. The sun has melted his brain.
Very possible.
All right, the Conchat Gold Cup, says Nick from Yuma. Boy, that would be quite a battle for the fight for that Gold Cup. Okay. All right, King 9 versus 10-6. Page going to complete out of the small blind. Albert is probably...
That's a raise, and
Yep.
that's a quick fold with the 10-6.
Jedi Master, I mean, maybe I took the guy's chats out of context, but I can do that because America. Yep, we are in one stage after another of misunderstanding and getting hot and mad about stuff. That's really what this country was founded on. It's our most guiding principle. Olympic chat qualifiers next week. Yep. So we'll see typing speed, accuracy, the individual medley also going to be taking place. So we're going to get a fold here by Albert out of the small blind.
Best singers, don't forget that.
Let's see, what other Olympic chat?
Definitely category for arguing.
Yeah, debate. We're going to call
Yeah,
it,
or
the
debate.
debate.
Like, we can debate poker, we can debate politics. Please don't debate politics in our chat. Go find some political
The
chat
question
to do that.
is Steamed Ola going to represent Italy or America? Like, he's...
That's a
if he
good
does
question.
work at Mandola's, he's kind of contractually obligated for the... I mean, he could be paired up with Pierre. There's probably that other guy that plays cash games here that's... it reminds me of the guy from Ford versus Ferrari. Okay, we've got Josh raising up out of the small blind to 31K page here with 5-4 off. Is not feeling like folding, and okay, reasonable defend here in this spot.
Yeah, the thing
Absolutely.
is, like, you're getting odds, and you're in position. The downside is it is 5-4. It is hard to flop well 5-4 offsuit. Like, that's a garbage flop for 5-4. Josh does have the open ender and the backdoor clubs, and he'll bet that, and I imagine that's just the end of it. And it is.
Oh yeah, nice flop here for the 9-7. Usual suspect, whether we testing for chat-enhancing drugs. We
I
don't
hope
have
not.
quite the budget this year to be
I
able.
hope not. Just saying.
I mean, otherwise we will hand everybody some all-pure hand sanitizer to use. That will be the only requirement. To make sure all of our hands are clean before we start the academic to chat one. This is Nick from Yuma. Rhythmic gymnastics also could be in play. I feel like there should be like an obstacle course of some sort.
Nick asking me an actual poker question. So I always defend my big to a min raise, no matter what the hand is. If I'm facing a min raise in the big blind, I'm getting insane pot odds, assuming there's an ante on, especially. The questions would be, what's your stack depth? Like, do you have chips to spare? And are there payout implications? Like, are we in the money? Are we near the money? Are there pay jumps coming? And then the other thing you could consider is actually whether you want to take some of your worst hands and 3-bet them as a bluff, which is also something you could consider doing. So the answer is, like, in most situations, I'm going to be in there with a lot of hands, either as calls or 3-bets. Like, maybe I ditch like 7 deuce offsuit.
And I think he's being serious, guys. Like
Because like Like,
If
pot
you,
odds
think,
are a
if you
thing.
doubt Lottie's ability to be able to open things up a little bit, you're underestimating the Long Island lag, folks. All right,
we
659.
Yeah, we got Josh with the spade draw, and we got Paige going away from a gut shot. Albert's got bottom pair. But you see, equity-wise, it is basically a coin flip. And it's Albert going to continue with that pair. And Josh is going to get there on the turn. He's got the flush.
Yeah, this becomes even harder to try to bluff catch here for Albert. Like, he doesn't have the best 5. He has the absolute worst 5, so...
Yeah, and that 10, well, it puts up the obvious spade draw. It's an overcard.
8 and 16.
The 8-7 straight was already there. That doesn't change, but
Now we invite you here into the chat to propose our field of events for the Chat Olympics. I mean, we've got so many great potential, feats of athleticism, intelligence.
I'll say this, though. Pez, I'm not going to be limboing anything. Not the Waddy line, not anything else. I'd probably hurt something.
You can also join us here for Members Appreciation Night here or Members Appreciation Day, all summer long Tuesday, 50% off your hourly rate here at Texas Card House. Maybe you see somebody there like Albert. He could be raising your button just like this with Queen 10 of Diamonds and take your blinds. That is what's going to happen here in this specific case. Is winner here for Albert. This Chapro Mackey saying Mexico and U.S. is still tied. It's 60 minutes down. Nick Muma, Chatterdays, and Polka. Yeah, we're trying to mash up our terms here to find the best Chat Olympics, Olympic chats. A lot of tongue twisters in here. Matt Veal, y'all in Dallas or Austin? We're down here in Austin here, Matt. We're living pretty good. Got rid of some of them homeless people. Okay, we got a check here on the flop at the 6-4 hearts page. Scanners.
Albert's got 6 high. See if he goes for the bluff. He just gives up. Page with the ace high.
So it's still pretty wide open at this point. Page was a chip leader, has kind of receded down a little bit, was running some tough spots, and Albert, again, up and down and all around and all over the place. So it is, for Josh, that was down to like 20K, 30 or 40K.
He's made a heck of a comeback. He could have easily been out before the money, and here he is playing 3-handed. Nice run. Whatever happens, nice run. But you know what? Like sometimes, I can tell you, I'll get the chip lead, and then I start giving double ups.
So this is why tournaments are so boring. Yeah, I think there's going to be. We could potentially decide to maybe switch from cash and start doing these as like replays, so we can kind of condense.
I think
some of the. I would think that.
I think people are going to have their own opinions about what sort of content they like. Like, I find these tournaments really gripping.
Right. Well, this is, for you, when you're playing a lot of these tournaments, you get to see some of the scenarios and learn about some of the particular players. So,
Yeah,
if it's somebody like you are...
Like, I come at it as a tournament player. Like, the cash, what you've seen me do with the cash games the last year and a half, that's a lot more volume that I put in cash games than I have in the past. Like, I was, mostly a tournament player before TCH Live started up, and then I've been pushed a little bit more in the cash direction, but I still love tournaments. And there's definitely a segment that I think love tournaments, but those cash games are their own thing, and those are good too. And sometimes you get boring stretches in a cash game. We got to say that too.
It is not every cash session is going to be the most hellish.
You're not going to pile in thousands and thousands of dollars every other hand some nights.
But there is. good thing to have something consistent. But I mean, if you guys have like valid opinions and you want to express it, again, leave it in the comment section. Then at least gives us kind of a good word as to like, what, maybe this is what our audience would like. Okay, Queen is going to turn here for Page.
She's got
Albert's
the pair.
got a double gutter to a 9 or King.
It's going to continue.
4 ball here on the end. Thank you for subscribing, Isaac Truong. Appreciate
Albert's
you hitting
bluffing.
that button for us. So 4 is brick. Albert's going to try to go for. Oh, wow. He is going to go for a
He
bluff
gets it
here.
through. He got it through. Wow. Page folding the second pair.
Yeah, I'm trying to replay the sequencing of that as
So-
to how that went down.
So flop went check, and Page bet the turn, and Albert called. ATX Poker are wondering how I became a Broncos fan, because back when I was getting into football, John Elway was the best, and the New York teams sucked. And I became an Elway fan, and I became a Bronco fan.
That you're given that choice, and you
And,
stuck with it.
I'm kind of a Seahawk fan, too. I saw Russell Wilson play at NC State. He seems like a really good person, and Seattle gave him a shot. And they had the integrity to start their third-round draft pick over the free agent they'd spent a whole bunch of money on that same offseason, who promptly ended up out of the league.
All right, we got a hand
Yeah,
here,
we
though,
do have a
Lonnie.
hand.
This is Albert's going to be raising big out of the small blind at the 58K with Jack 8. Josh going to call here Queen 9 suited. Call 42. Here we go. Let's go. The 636. Albert most likely going to be able to bet and probably push out Josh, but Josh can float some moments to maybe try to go on another street, but Albert could create a bet size so big that it really de-incentivizes.
And 2 over is good. Not really a whole lot as far as draws, though, which is a little bit of a bummer. Like you would like to be able to pick up some equity on the turn with a draw. He is going to let it go.
The mentioning war games here in the chat. I saw that way too often as a rerun on USA, I think, as a kid. Let's see. Ethan, best part of the tournament, listening to Youngblood, rambling and yammering. I'm glad I've been able to kind of make a career out of it. That's, oh boy. All right, so again, 3-handed here. Not much has changed. There's been some chips passing around back and forth, but there's rumblings in the water. There's waves happening.
It's gotten a bit more even. It's definitely gotten more even where stacks are pretty close together now. Like we've seen Page get chipped away at a little bit.
Just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit.
Like one thing I'll say as well is that with some of these folds you're seeing, these players may not necessarily be that experienced playing 3-handed to where you do have to call a lot wider usually.
Yeah, you get into these spots where you're like 10 big blinds or less, and you just start looking down at like King 7 suited, and it's like, okay, we just got to go with it. But 8K, 16K at these stack depths is still fairly comfortable, though Page now getting a little bit short down to 18 big, so leaves her at least enough room to raise pre-flop, c-bet, and kind of keep staying afloat here. Then also can pick up a hand. We'll see how this transpires as the super duper specialty King Jack of Diamonds. I know one player worships at the shrine of King Jack of Diamonds. Is the greatest hand in poker history in some circles.
Absolutely.
I'm just. All right, King 3-4. Page gonna miss this here with Queen 10. So fortunate for her that it's a board that she doesn't have to commit any more chips to. Which I think kind of with these hands sometimes if you just get a marginal holding on it, it becomes much more uncomfortable to play. Whereas I think when you brick, it just becomes like okay, well, I get the heck out of this. All right, next hand here, Lod.
Blinds are now 8, 16, 16. Page now with the shortest of stacks with 16 big blinds. Josh now our chip leader. See a bunch of people in the chat now
Calling
talking
for the
tech.
chop.
I love that. So for those of you who don't know, I'm in the tech industry myself, and yeah, I see some familiar terms get thrown around.
Yep. Scale. Equilibrium. Okay. Third place again, $1,110. Second, $1,660. And second, or excuse me, first, $2,220 dollar bills is what's going to be going home here to the winner. Squire Rue mentioning feral cat energy. I think that's what his explanation was of why Eugene Green has got so many loyalty points. Has been using these cats to mine loyalty points. You know, if you're able to set up that contraction, you know, like as Mike Sexton would say, more power to you there, bud. So Albert here with jacks as big time pot brewing here on the button is going to make it, what, like 50 to 60K here, Lottie?
Yeah, it looks like a big size here. Maybe 45, 60. No, he does go for 60. Josh has ace queen, and he goes all in.
All in.
And Albert going to snap him off, and to a flip we go. Albert's like, I got to flip. Why can't you have tens?
Classic tournament flip here. Josh going from the basement, potentially here to the top shelf. Jack's
10, 6,
holding.
4.
Jacks does
Ace,
not hold.
there's the ace. Albert needs a jack. Does not get it. Ace is up for Josh. Going to extend that chip lead and eliminate Albert in third place. Good game, Albert.
Good game. Good game. Good game, Albert. That's a tough way to go. Wow. Quite a story we have as Josh, one of the short stacks at like nine-handed, was literally, I think, if he wasn't towards the bottom.
He was towards the bottom. He was he was short for a long time.
Yeah, basically.
He was down to 3 big blinds at one point. Had a
That's why you never give up. Like,
out, yeah.
There's always a hope. You can always find a double up. The other opponents can brick out, and now he's got the chip lead.
Went from 2 big blinds to this.
That's gonna okay. Well, we'll hold the drama here on the first hand. Heads up between Paige and Josh. Sounds like a band that plays at your local brunch here in Austin. Hi, we're Paige and Josh. You guys want to hear some Oasis? Okay. Paige here going to be on the button, have the option to look at Josh with all those chips.
Paige has kings. This seems good for her.
You know, I would think so. Oh, dude, we can nailing some zingers here tonight.
That's my
Truth
expert
bombs.
considered analysis there. So Paige raise the 40. Josh gonna call up the Jack 5 offsuit. And he is gonna flop a pair here. 96K in the middle, 187 behind for Paige. I could see this getting in. Josh decides to lead out for 40K. Paige makes it 120. Now Josh is going to let it go, saying, okay, I guess you got me beat. And you got...
Well, there you have it, folks. We have met the end of the road after that winner. I believe these players decided to discuss this, and they've done this here in the past. We are here in the present, on delay. Mike Youngblood, William Lottie, super producer Carolyn. That's going to do it, we believe. And that's going to wrap up our night. So these players are going to chop it here on our tournament final table. That means our broadcast will come to a close. We will have the airing of the tournament final table from last week. The monthly main event will be on tomorrow night. I will have a brief announcement before that. We'll do the cash game. I'll speak my spiel, and then we will go on and do the monthly main event, and we'll carry on our magical ways here. So they might just be here as a formality, but we do know inevitably that they are going to decide. So we might get another poker hand literally happening before our eyes. There was this one? Okay. Deuce, 7, deuce. It might have been one more. It might have
We're
been
near
two,
the
but like
end.
we do know this is going to get chopped up, and perhaps if Paige wins this, she's sitting with enough chips that Josh just realizes, like, you know what? Why not?
Yeah, it's like a little over 2-1 at this point.
So, showing mercy upon us here at the team here on TCH Live. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Looks like we have agreed to a number. That is going to wrap it up. We will see you tomorrow night here on TCH Live. Good night,
Have a
Joe.
good night.
Florida Stream. Florida Stream.